Hey there, Nikos here, and today we are covering 5 Forex pairs that I like and pairs that are very volatile, at least lately, and I'm also expecting some bounces and breaks in this area. I also want to do a little follow-up on some positions that are running. So let me share this with you right away. Not every day or not every pair is volatile and easy to trade or fun to trade. And the first one I'm sharing with you here is the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. This is a weekly chart, and the reason I like to use the weekly chart, as you know, is because as traders we need to always focus on the big picture. We want to know in which direction the price is going, where it's likely to bounce on major support and resistance levels, where to get in, how to manage a trade, all those little important things, money management, of course. So right now, what I've done here on this pair, I usually don't trade my live account on MT4, but MT4 for me is the easiest to use charting tool, and of course there are many brokers where you can just open MT4 accounts and trade with them, but I'll have it just for my charting and for my alerts and EAs and indicators. That's a different topic, of course. I just want to mention this because people ask me often where I personally trade on, and the thing is, I trade on a bigger platform, a professional platform. It's a bank, and it's a little bit different, but it really doesn't matter. You can open a MetaTrader account. Every major broker offers a demo account, for example, or microlot account, or whatever you like to do. So I use also MT4 for my charting. Everything I do, I always look at MT4 charts, not just because they're free. It's just all I need. Okay, it's all I need, and I don't have to spend money on fancy software in order to trade. Now, as I said, Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar. One second, guys. I have major support on this weekly chart. You can see the price did bounce many times, and if I just extend my line, it will end up close to this area. So of course, depending on the angle, you can draw the line a little bit different, but I like to draw them always between the bodies and the spikes. I'll just touch. I get my 3 touches here in this case, and I just like to extend the line, and you see where it's ending up. Price did already bounce a little bit. There's a little spike here, and of course we don't know where price is going to move to, but normally in a major support area the first reaction is a bounce. That means price is likely to bounce in this area more or less. Maybe it moves low and it will bounce then, but right now I saw my first spike in this area, and I'm really keen into getting into this trade in order to take advantage of a bigger bounce. That means price might go back to my 36 EMA, the middle of this, let's say, trending range. I'll tell you what I mean. If I start drawing a line from here and extend it like this, more or less you'll see it's not a range, it's an uptrend, but also range in this trend. I also have horizontal resistance, previous support here. This is my next area of support, and longer term, of course, up here where I get more touches here and here and here, and then much later on up here. So right now I want to draw a line closer to the price action. This would be somewhere here. So my longer term target, if I get here in here somehow to bounce this long, my target would be, of course, the 36 and an extension this horizontal resistance line. That's a way I like to trade the bounces. And you'll see, if you look at the daily chart, this is still a downtrend. So if somebody just looks at a trend direction, you'll see, okay, Why are you trying to go long? This is a downtrend. The reason I like to try longs early here is because of this major support line which is coming from the weekly chart. And again, if you're not checking the higher time frames, you don't know that we have support there, and that is where most traders actually fail at. They don't recognize or identify those powerful areas of support and resistance. And while I try an early long, which means I went to a lower time frame to get in as a bounce a trade. And let me go to the 4-hourly chart to make this clear. And on this, I got already my first trend line break. I got a break and I get a retracement. So the price is breathing out here, gave me retracement back to the 36 and 12 EMA, and then price went through. So on this breakout, I placed my order, and I am in this trade right now. My account protection order is below the retracement, below my 1, 2, 3, and my target for now for the first position will be the 200 EMA, and later on the existing targets are still much higher. So if I check my daily chart, the remaining targets will be somewhere in this area. Okay, so I didn't set any targets yet because I just want to see how the price, how this trade will unfold. Now, in case it doesn't work out and price decides to go back down, then I'll leave everything. I have my account protection order in place. The risk for this trade is like 0.3 to 0.5% maximum. That's all. And if it doesn't work out, I'll just wait for the next reaction. So maybe price will react later on a little bit lower again, maybe spiky and then bounce. But for sure, if you check those big moves, the price did move like for almost 800 points here previously, about like 650 points. So it would make sense if it starts to bounce, react, and go the other way now. So that's my thought. Of course, it's a little bit aggressive. I would like to call it early. Aggressive is such a bad word, but it looks like it wants to go already. So right now, first targets are here, and I'll leave the rest open. Now, for more conservative traders, it would be better for them to wait for the price to hit the extension of this line or close to the 36 EMA, maybe bounce, create a higher low, like breathing in, breathing out, and then actually on this break trying to get in on lower time frames, depending on the strategy you're trading, to target the 200, 600 EMA or the previous areas of support, which now will probably act as resistance. Okay? That's it for this pair. I go quickly on the other ones. The CADCHF, the reason I'm watching this pair is very obvious. Here we go. We had already our powerful bounce again. You see the extension of this line ending up. We had a big bounce. We had nice trades already to go long. We can also actually draw kind of a channel here by taking the line like this, more or less. Okay, just to find the areas of support and resistance. Price never exactly stops at this level, especially on the weekly charts, but you can see on the weekly chart you can identify all those great areas of support. So on this break here, checking the lower time frames, we had opportunities, higher lows already, bounces, breaks of the trend line to get in on lower time frames, taking half of the profit at least in the middle of this range. And now the long-term targets are of course the highs of this range, which is coming from the weekly. So personally, because I'm more swing trader and day trader position trader, I'm not trying to get in here unless there is a really good opportunity. Why? Because price did already trend for a long time and we have many opportunities, bounces, 1, 2, 3s, ABCs to get in. Now, if anybody wants to trade this, draw your trend line, wait for the price to breathe out, to come back actually to your support, and when it's reaching this area, wait for bounces and get in after the breaks again to target the highs long term here. But we'll see, we don't know, maybe you get a big retracement first on the daily chart and then another opportunity actually to get in. We have to check. For now, only if you are already in. I know that many traders took the breaks here and got into this as bounce trades and 1 2 3s. In order to manage this, it's very easy actually, because price is trending for a while. I would just trade my count protection order below this trend line as long as possible, and if price goes down, it will kick you out with great profits. Okay, now the USDCAD, this is a trade I actually missed because I wasn't home. I was waiting for a break of this line, the reason being simple extension, it's nothing fancy. Also horizontal resistance in this area, because before we had the support and the big spikes. Price did also move as much as 900 points, and I was waiting actually for the break. So what we got was this first touch on the 36, lower highs in the range. So that break was the entry. Of course, on lower time frames, bounces, breakouts, etc., depending on the strategy you're trading. But I missed it because I was actually a little bit on vacation. It was really a really good trade here to get in different ways, but now it's too late. So I'm waiting for retracement on the daily chart. So what I want to see is the price coming back at least to here, breathing out, or even better back to here. If I can connect the line like this at that point, would be great. And if price is bouncing again, I will check on lower time frames to get in. If price looks good, of course, to actually target the extension of this line. This is the weekly chart. I'm going now to the daily on the USD Canadian dollar, and you'll see that if price goes up and bounces, I'll still have an opportunity between 200 and 250, 60 points minimum. Of course, if the price is volatile. My that was number 3. Number 4, Australian dollar, US dollar. What we have here again is a powerful weekly support line, giving us the real direction. Remember, it's important to actually see the real thing, not what we would like to see, but what's really going on. So between the bodies and the tails, we have like channels here as well. Previous resistance is here, and that's the issue actually, because we have this nice support area and we have resistance in the same area. So price needs to clear out this area for us to get in, unless you are already long with an early or aggressive bounce long trade to target the middle or the high of this range. If not, take a look at the daily chart. It is a little bit tricky, because if you extend the line on the daily, price didn't quite reach this yet. On a weekly, it looks much better. So we have two things here. Either price will go down, retest this area, will retest this area and then bounce up again, or break, of course. Or the other long scenario would be it creates a lower high, a higher low, higher low, and then break this area. So in this case, I really want to get in here. It's kind of a bounce trade and trend line break combination. So bounce on support, trend line break, trying to get in here, and then target long term, of course, the middle of the range like always, and then the extension of this line or the horizontal resistance line like that. Okay, so pay attention please to this pair and to all the others, because they look quite good, at least for now. And then one other pair, this is a major GBP US dollar, but this did already or is trending for a while, and you can see on the weekly chart that we have, one second, major support here. I'm doing the video right now, everybody's calling. One second guys. So here's my previous horizontal support. Here's resistance. So the next area of resistance is in this area on the weekly chart. We have a really powerful trend, but in order to get in here, you check your daily chart, and on the daily chart you really want to draw a nice trend line. You see all those touches and the extensions ending up here. So what happens every time the price is coming back to the support, it's actually bouncing. So that is telling us that this trend is really powerful. In order to get in here, you need to see another retracement, and if price is stalling here and it looks like it's bouncing, then please look for another entry on the lower time frames to target this high. Okay, so we have only one major. The other ones were like minor pairs: Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, CADCHF, USDCAD, and Australian dollar, US dollar. It's enough to actually focus on a couple of pairs. Don't try to focus on 200 pairs and trade everywhere. Everybody has to learn to see first. Start understanding what you see on the charts, what makes sense, get the feeling for it, and focus on a couple of pairs so you can actually trade profitable. Okay? See you soon. That's all for now. Enjoy the rest of your day, and like always, happy and healthy trading. Bye.